sanctuary cities just got a little bit safer. Judges ruled against President Trump's 2017 executive order, saying the government would withhold funding from cities that don't cooperate with ICE. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled yesterday that only Congress can block federal funding. The Department of Justice called the ruling a victory for criminal aliens. Some state governments are opposed to sanctuary policies too. Texas Senate Bill 4, known as the Show Me Your Papers law, allows officers to ask anyone they detain to reveal their immigration status. And opponents say it's enough to keep immigrants from asking for help or reporting crimes. So Catholic parishes in Dallas came up with an idea. They'd start issuing IDs themselves.
Dígame. Ajá. Sí, aquí yo le puedo ayudar. Ajá. Necesitan, para empezar, ser miembros de la iglesia 3 meses o más, mínimo 3 meses.
What sorts of challenges does it present in life to not have a state-issued identification?
Oh my gosh. It's like day and night. To enroll your kids in school, to go to a doctor, open a bank account. If you don't have that, it's really hard. I'm part of a group of people at the church that have been working with the parish ID. We make the announcements at the Mass that we are going to be signing people who are interested in getting the parish ID. In the first instance, we have 1,600 people sign up, plus 1,000 new members.
It will not be recognized as an official form of identification, but it will be recognized as a form of identification. So is that a yes? Yes. Thank you.
The idea for parish ID cards was proposed last fall in a meeting between Dallas area police officers and members of the faith community. Josephine Paul has been a lead organizer in Dallas's immigrant community for over 15 years and has strongly opposed SB 4 since its inception.
In the listening sessions, we learned that the most pervasive fear that immigrants had was to report a crime. Many had been victims of crime. And also, if they had an encounter with a police officer, how they would identify themselves. So as soon as we kind of understood that, then we began building on the political work that we've been doing with the Dallas Police Department.
We often send our kids to school, and first identification they might get is a student ID, and so that gives them some sense of this is who I am, and the school vouch for me. So I guess with them, this gives them a sense of this is who I am, and my church vouch for me. It has no legal binding, we understand that, but it's not from our perspective that it matters as it does to them.
Esto en el acuerdo que por parte de la iglesia de la Diócesis de Dallas se hizo con la policía, de que ustedes tuvieran un documento en dado caso de que al ir conduciendo les diera una infracción y no tuvieran ustedes con qué identificarse, no los iba a llevar a inmigración, sino que les iba a dar simplemente la identificación, la amonestación, si tenían ustedes esa identificación.
If a police officer in the Dallas Police Department decides that he wants to follow the letter of Senate Bill 4 and that he does not want to accept parish IDs, will that officer be reprimanded?
Oh, of course not. I mean, with officer using their discretion, they can weigh in on the totality of the circumstances in which they come in contact with the person. That goes back to saying some ID, any type of ID, is better than having no identification at all.
The parish ID program started so that undocumented immigrants will feel more comfortable talking to the police, right? If it is up to every single individual officer's personal discretion whether or not to accept parish IDs, don't you think there's some fear that you're actually putting like a false hope in some of these undocumented immigrants by just giving them something that doesn't have to be actually accepted?
them reporting a crime is just as important as anyone else in this community reporting a crime. Our job is to try to create the safest community in the country. And so it requires trust, and it requires building trust.
Do you think that Senate Bill 4 then has eroded some of the trust between law enforcement and undocumented communities?
I'm not going to comment on that one.
¿Tienes hambre, Andrea? Sí. I feel more comfortable in case a policeman need something with my photo that it was issued here. For the church to be doing this for us is a sense of hope that we have people who really care, and that's different, especially in the times we're living.